Wow, I've never seen the word scheduled up there before. Now it's live. I like it. It's
It's
live.
it's a little something different we wanted to try today. I think with the auctions ending tonight,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't done an episode. We're like,
Oh,
let's go live and see what happens. Is that
that's
right?
right.
Is that what your idea was?
Listen, especially, I mean, listen, obviously, we talked yesterday about the PWCC auction. We kind of always just drop it there on a Saturday and then don't follow up. And there's a million people that do, like, shows the following day. Hey, what happened in the auction? And then you get the added little bonus of, we talk about this stuff. Goldin's auction was supposed to end last week. They pushed it. I think they said last week that it was because of the hurricane. And then it was supposed to end last night, and it was like technical difficulties. Remember that? Like technical difficulties, right? So I think that both auctions are ending at exactly the same time tonight. So it's interesting, But
What are you eyeing?
don't
What are you
don't
what are you
mind
eyeing?
me.
What are you thinking about? Like what
Whatever
are
I'm thinking
you
about, people should go against. If my picks from today's football are anything to go by, just don't listen to anything that I say presently. I
well,
mean,
this is
just
why we
stay
invest
away.
in cards. Investing in cards, you can be right and right, but you can also be wrong and right. Like your bet doesn't go to zero.
Just
So
steer clear.
we're still on that.
Steer clear of me. No, there's great stuff in
Football
the
is
auction.
crazy, Cage. Football is
It's
crazy. Lions got shut out. You want to do a little recap of what you saw of this? I didn't
it's
watch
been
the.
an insane NFL season so far, and this week just it's exactly there. It matches with the season so far. The NFC East has two of the worst 4-1 teams in it. The Cowboys and the Giants are both 4-1, and the Eagles are 5-0. Here I am thinking the Eagles will be running away with the division, be undefeated. And of those three teams, the Eagles look the worst today. They got lucky at the end of the game. They covered the first half, and we thought about that. They covered the first half, but didn't cover the game. And talk about a bonehead play. We predicted that. Kyler Murray, just bad coaching. It's third down, and he
I don't know.
slides.
I don't know why they blame that on him.
He's got to know the game situation. He's got
I
to know
mean,
where he is on the
he does,
field.
but it's happening fast. It's not like he looks to the left as he's about to get truck stick, and he's going to be like, "Oh, I need to get another 4 inches
Well,
forward."
forget about that. Once that doesn't happen, he has to know at that point in time that he
That's
doesn't run
why
up there and spike the ball on 3rd and 1,
he did.
right? He shouldn't do that.
He should
He's
throw
got
a pass.
25 seconds left. Spiking it there doesn't do anything. You realize it's 3rd and 1. You spike, you make it 4th down. Now you have to bring your field goal kicker in. You can throw a pass. You run a play. You have enough time to run a play there. He thought it was 1st down. You have to be more aware. You have to realize, okay, yes, I'm about to get, what'd you say, truck sticked? I'm about to get truck sticked.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the 1st down, or you wait for them to tell you it's 3rd and 1, and you operate accordingly. Also, maybe you save a timeout. I mean, maybe you have another timeout for that situation.
Can I tell you a bigger issue that we're not talking about?
Yes.
I feel that red zone isn't suitable for people's brains. It's too much action. I've tracked this. I actually get a migraine on Sundays if I watch red zone.
Really?
It's nonstop action. And I think it's good, but like just the right side of my head. Whew.
So I'll tell you why I love it. It's because I used to pay a lot of extra for the dish, the direct TV, and just have, every game I could watch whatever game I wanted to. And I wound up just watching this channel anyway. Because, unless I was playing fantasy and I was like, oh, I got my running back, I want to watch every play or something like that, I wound up just watching the Red Zone channel anyway. So it's great that it's there. Plus, it's just one day. You just, you put your head in the swivel and, you're watching all the plays. I enjoy it. It makes Sunday awesome.
I need to ask you a topic. And we could take off the Mr. Nice Guy. 2 shows this weekend. And the feedback has been only dealer-to-dealer buying. Okay. Not much foot traffic. These shows kind of popping up. There's tons of shows. Everyone runs a show. And they're almost vulturing traffic away from each other. Are you worried that the inventory dealers are sitting on, that they're pricing 30, 40, 50% over comps, is going to cause us to have another leg down?
I mean, we had a show not so long ago where I said card shows might start to be an issue because there's just so much going on online. And, going to shows, I've said this now, it's not every show, but the mood I get in when I go to a show and I come back and I do an episode. I'm always like, sell your cards. I'm always like, oh, this show is terrible. Nobody's buying. Everybody's looking to sell to the dealers. Everybody's looking to, do this stuff. Everybody's looking to blah, blah, blah. And it's just one part of it. But yeah, I mean, I walk around the show. If I bring cards to a show and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll make a trade, I don't want to say 9 times out of 10 because it's more than that now. 9.5 times out of 10, I leave with the cards, I pack them up the next day and send them to a consignment for selling. I send them to PWCC, I sell it on the weekly, I send them to wherever, and I sell it because I'm not going to be able to sell it or trade it at the show. That's just what happens. So I know I pivoted a little bit, but it shouldn't surprise people that the foot traffic at shows is not there. I don't think that it's vulturing shows. I think that tell me why someone would want to go to a show. It's a great question. The local show that I usually go to, that Plainview, Holiday Inn show that's once a month, it was today. I didn't even consider going because the last 4 times we've gone, now this is a show during COVID. I could bust out some pictures of it. The line was out the door, wrapping around the parking lot to get in. Now it's the same old people with the same cards, doing the same stuff, and nobody's looking to really make any kind of deals. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking to find bargains, there's more bargains online, I think, unless it's a major show, unless like the National, something like that where, you're going to find some stuff. But yeah, I mean, what's the allure of some of the shows? Why would you go to a show?
I mean, I like working shows, to be honest. I feel a little out of place when I have to walk around.
But if you work a show,
like I thought Big Cigar Night was fantastic, Age. I think I like that. I have a specific role to make the show fun for people.
Okay, so the events around the show, different story. But keep in mind, right, we weren't there spending $10,000 and with a goal towards at the end of a 4-day show, we have to make that $10,000 back in profit or else we're losing money. That's you have to put a dealer hat on, right? So the dealers go to these shows, they gotta, grab their crew, grab their stuff, pay for gas, pay for travel, pay for airfare, whatever it is. So they're starting with a negative. They have to have deal flow. I saw Eddie, InvestorCard have the video. I was like, hey, guys, you gotta promote these things better. You gotta get people walking in here because why no one's walking up to his table, to give him cards. And if he's setting up and he's, spending all of his money to set up and go to a show, you have to have some deals. You have to have some foot traffic, right?
You have to cover your costs, so you're going to go out of business. You could only. How many shows can you lose 5,000 on before you stop going?
Well, I mean, think about it this way, right? If people are going to go to shows, right? If you want to make a show good, you got to have a draw. You have to have these businesses that people want to see there. But to get the businesses there, you have to have people, right? It's a symbiotic thing, right? So, listen, I think it's an interesting topic. I think it's something we're going to see play out over the next year or so as a lot of stuff moves into online, into auction houses, into vaulting. Part of it is having cards in hand, right? So I have a card, it's here, it's there. The more companies push towards vaulting their cards, the less likely it is for you to have the card in your hand or for a dealer to even have their card in hand. Instead of going to a physical show, it's like, hey, I can have a show anytime. Here's my vault.
I think there's going to be a lot of nostalgia with online auctions taking over shows. But the reality is the world's so fast-paced, you have to be efficient per unit of time. Mm-hmm. And you could be so much more efficient at finding deals online than you can at shows, which is sad because there is such an allure at shows that you can't get online.
Yep.
So it's really an interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. I think this is where big companies need to make it. You need to help the dealers break even. You need to get them to zero. And if you could find a way to do that, I think you'll see more buying and selling. But whenever you're in the whole 5,000, 7,000 going in, it makes it hard.
You know what I think winds up happening is and I give away the $1 billion ideas. How many people are listening?
10.
10 people. All right, so more should be listening, and 10 of those, probably half of you are from Fanatics. But when Fanatics takes over the world, right, Fanatics should partner with the people who run these shows. And Fanatics should have show-specific packs of cards they make, right? Call it the Chantilly show.
Prism.
And you find out ahead of time from the coordinator of the show how many tables there are going to be. And if there's 100 tables at the show, you make 500 packs of specific for that show, for that day, blah, blah, blah. And each person gets 5 of them just for being there, just for having the show. They get to sell those packs at the show to help defray their costs. That is a nice business partnership that allows these guys, they're there. It's a bonus that someone gets for spending time to set up at the show. It's a cool thing. It's a draw for people to come to the show because these are packs, cards, a specific limited edition that, you're only going to be able to get at the shows. I mean, it's a win-win. That's the kind of thing I think you need. Make sense?
I can't explain this concept. So, I have like a lot of Goldberg theories. So there's a new one I picked up, Cage. So I'll give you an example, and maybe you'll help me get there. Like on Whatnot, whenever you sell, it's like it takes a little bit to pop the cherry. No one wants to be the first person making deals.
Right.
So if you run a few giveaways, run a few auctions, even if they're losing money, you start getting this like kind of momentum, people feeling more comfortable doing deals. At shows, I feel you have to be the organizers have to be the ones that first generate. I don't know what that's called, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to break the seal.
You have to break the seal, you have to pop, whatever it is. And it's this weird phenomenon because I've done like 20 Whatnot shows. And I'm like, some of them are just like, and some it's so stale. And it's like, the cards are amazing, but it's this monkey see, monkey do. And you have to stimulate the economy, the card economy.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Everybody's got their roles. So in this auction, what are you looking for?
278 items favorited.
You have 278 items?
I'll tell you what I'm looking at, though. There are so many base Brady, Topps Chrome, and Bowman Chrome cards in the $20 to $30 price range. And there's a significant amount of Curry cards that are Curry Patch. There's so many game-worn Curry Patch cards. And a few really nice autos that are under $500. That's what I would say I'd lock in on. And if I was going really big, I think the Kobe market. Are you looking at the PWCC?
Yeah, right, I'm looking at it right now.
The most expensive Kobe is this gold upper deck StarQuest, and I can't understand it. Do you see that card?
I'll look at it right now. I mean, I know the StarQuest cards; they're pretty cool.
Why is that? What is the deal with that card? It's $7,000. It's not his rookie card. It's not a special card by any means. GC says, to your comment, he says, it's easy, give dealers tickets, and every time someone buys, they get a ticket. Then the show organizers run a free drawing.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. Anything that it rewards the dealers for being there, because in your raffle type scenario, you're only getting that ticket, which costs the dealer nothing when somebody's buying from the dealer, and it incentivizes people to go to the show. You know what I mean? I always love limited edition stuff. We took to, Reebok, took to Jason Silva this week, being first online to get the limited edition this, if they have a show specific card or show specific pack, people go there for that stuff. Whether it was Fanatic, Zero Cool, the Stranger Things cards or whatever it is that's hot at the time, right? People stand in line and they wait for that. You can only get it at the show. Shoot.
Why do people not like Fanatics? Give me your hunch. Like, I know this is anecdotal. There's no but why do you think the true collectors really have this Fanatics is coming in, they're going to ruin things? Do you feel that?
I don't feel that, but I'll tell you, I would do a deep dive on it, and I'll bet you that in 2007, 2008, when people were loving, Topps Chrome basketball, when people were loving, all of those products at the time, when Panini came in, I bet you people were saying the same exact thing. Oh man, they're gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna be able to get my stuff. Who wants this crap? What does a sticker company from Europe who does soccer cards know anything about what we do with our Topps? I mean, how am I ever gonna collect RG3?
Well, RG3 was a chase, and then they let him play with a tornado.
I'm trying to make
Yo,
date appropriate stuff.
Explain this to me.
Yeah,
if you look, 2009, Panini had the Curry release. 2010 and 11, it's almost like Panini fell off the map. And then 2012, they're back. What happened in those 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. 2010 Panini, they have Rookies and Stars.
People don't give an F about that set.
Gold Standard. I mean, they were doing their thing. That Prism didn't come out until 2012, right?
But they almost didn't have any releases. Rookies and Stars, that's the Curry auto I'm looking at. It's a sticker auto.
Well, they had Prestige, right? They had Prestige. They had Threads, right? I mean, back then, you were really looking for Joakim Noah cards back then. Now, if you want, you can get a 2010 Panini Threads Century Proof Silver Joakim Noah out of 199 in PSA 9, mint 1 of 1 for that grade, none higher for the current bid of $5 ending in an hour.
Joking? Are you gonna the $5
$5 bid, baby? $5 bid. No, you don't want that,
Okay, so I know we have one more team decided. Padres Mets still playing. But your baseball, like the final, is it final 8 teams?
Yeah, 4 in the American League, 4 in the National League. Looks like the Padres are going to advance against the Dodgers. I like the Padres. Their pitching is good, but the Dodgers look like they're world beaters, and they've now had time to kind of set up against this team here. You have the Braves are going to play against the Phillies. I like that series. Would have been
division, Padres Dodgers division, and Braves Phillies division.
Correct. So they're teams that know each other well. A lot of the other stuff kind of goes out the window. I will tell
you Bryce Harper play. Do you think that now might be a good time to look at Bryce Harper cards when no one's looking at it again?
Bryce Harper, it's amazing to think about. He almost has like a Russell Wilson vibe. People just don't like Russell Wilson. People don't like, Bryce Harper. And I mean, I don't know if it's one of those things where he just came in with so much hype, but Harper has lived up to it. I mean, he's got the hardware, and he's still so young. I think he's younger than Aaron Judge.
I'm looking that up. 29 years old.
Yeah, he's younger than Judge. It's insane. I mean, people don't realize, and his numbers are significantly better. But, Harper is not go out there and win a World Series. I mean, he had a home run. He had a home run against St. Louis. I mean, he's definitely helping them. He had a good year. He was injured for a little bit of it. But I like Harper. But, I've given the Harper play, and people just don't care. They just don't. I think it's great. Harper falls into the category for me that a lot of basketball guys do for you. They're great players. They're putting up great stats. They're going to be thought of as top 50 players of all time, perhaps, but nobody's buying their stuff. Harper feels like that kind of trap for me.
That category. So I don't know if you guys in the comments have seen the Redeem Team. I watched it yesterday. It was really well made, and Jason Kidd came to mind. Jason Kidd was on that team. Jason Kidd had a phenomenal career. He's I asked Brian, if he was starting a team, would you rather John Stockton or Jason Kidd?
And what do you say?
He said Jason Kidd.
I mean, it's a little more recency bias, but Kidd had a better shot. Stockton didn't have the offense. Stockton didn't have he was a passer.
Jason Kidd was equally as good of a passer. But it's just interesting what makes us gravitate towards cards and what doesn't. Like, Kidd has 0 collectability, but
there's only one Jason Kidd in this auction, and it's a 96, which is not his rookie year. 96 finest with the coating. Just a base 96 finest, BGS 8, which is, of course, BGS population 1 of 1. $5, no bids. If you want a Jason Kidd, $5 with no bid right now.
I really urge people who might have never bid on auctions or even signed up for PWCC to just register, because can you do this, Cage? Search for Devin Booker.
Sure.
And you don't have to actually buy things in these auctions to get just a pulse of the market. What's fascinating about that is there's not a single Booker card in this auction.
Uno.
One card?
One card, 2021 Panini Photogenic Silver Devin Booker CSG 8.5 near mid plus. No bids. It's $5.
It's $5. And the Photogenic series is kind of cool. It's thicker stock. But what's cool about this is we think we live in this modern era, junk slab era. And we lump
It's a cool
everything
card.
together because for us it's easier to understand. When we put it, okay, modern, a lot of cards. But think about that. Luka probably has 60 cards in that auction. Curry has 100, but not a single
56 Lucas.
Not a single Devin Booker, and he's from 2015. And it just kind of puts things in perspective. There's only 2 Jokic cards in there. So it's not everything is overprinted. It's not everything.
Listen, I am with you. Luka Silver. Is that an investable card?
No, it's got a stench on it. It's like that girl that was with a lot of your buddies.
No. Don't even go. Come on. Don't even go.
And she's beautiful. She's got a good personality, but like she's already been with so many of my friends. I don't know if I could date her.
Yes.
That's what I would say to Luka Silver. That's it's really hard to get that stench off.
All right, so I have a question for you.
That's fair.
Okay?
That's not
That's fine. Yes. No, I didn't know where you were going. You got me nervous when you started. But you ready for this? It's Panini 1-in-1. You know the set. You love the set. There are 2 gold cards I want you to make a comparison to. One of them is a pop 1 of 1, and one of them is pop 1 of 2. Zion's gold out of 10 in PSA 10 is currently at $20,000. And there is a Ja also, but the Ja is there's 2 10s. So, at least for now, the Zion that's being bid, there's no other ones. The Ja out of 10 is a pop 1 of 2, and it's only at $8,200. So it's like 40% of the price of Zion, which is not what you normally have for the price of those 2. So talk to me about that. Why? And why do you love that card? Why you love that set so much?
So, the pop 1 and 2, honestly, it should trade at like double the price, right? If you're just like doing like market cap. But I think there's a little extra to that, and that's Zion's best card. And if you look at the pose, compare the poses, the aesthetic. I know that for you that might not matter, but it's Zion dunking and Ja's kind of like under the basket. It kind of looks like the Kobe Topps rookie card pose, like kind of dishing it off. And I think that's the little bit of extra oomph because we know nothing, Zion's cards all look like he's so overweight. And then you look at that one and he's flying through the air dunking.
So I do understand what you're saying. To me, aesthetics matter. There is an item that I love in this auction. I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'm not gonna bid on it. I'll let you guys let one of you guys go win it. You got an hour left on it. And it's exactly what you're talking about because you want to talk about like iconic poses and the whole deal, but it's a way to get a card that it's awesome. I love the look of it, but not get the base. Check this out. Everybody knows that card. The Ja dunking on Kevin Love, right? But this is a blue parallel numbered out of 99. So it's a numbered parallel of that Ja rookie. It's only $230. And it's the only PSA 10. So there's one PSA 10, and it's the luminance, Ja with the crazy, slam dunk. They made those cards with parallels. That's the blue parallel, and it's numbered out of 99. Only one PSA 10 of that card.
Who would you be buying? Is Ja who you'd be buying going into the year? Like, who do you think is a little undervalued? I know Ben Simmons, but like a little bit safer maybe?
I don't mind your Booker play, which is tough, obviously, for this auction because there's not a lot of them out there. I mean, depending upon what card you're looking at, right? It might be too late to buy Zion, but there are some interesting cards here. Like, you're a crackhead, so there is a really nice PSA 9 Giannis Prism rookie auto.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Right? Did you see that one? Like, is that one that, you buy in the PSA 9, send it to BGS and get a BGS 9.5 perhaps, or SGC and get an SGC 9.5 where they free grade the 10 auto?
And it's a long form auto. It's
it's the full auto.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, is that one of the ones you take a look at just to kind of, interesting? No?
For sure. I sent you guys in the group the Contenders Gold Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trae's a little disrespected. I think they're going to come out. I think they're going to come out and have some success early in the season. And here's why. I think Dejounte Murray adds a little bit of a wrinkle to their offense that makes them difficult to stop. I think that he's going to create a lot of space for Trae Young. And I think Trae's going to start out really well. And I think they're going to be a 3 or 4 seed early on, maybe even a 2 seed early on in the season. And the Trey Gold auto rookie contenders. I know people don't love contenders. 4 or 5K. When you hear that number, does that sound like a lot or a little?
Neither. It sounds accurate.
Accurate. 4,500 is where you price that?
Yeah.
Then, okay.
About accurate. I mean, you think it's high? You think it's low? What do you think?
I think I'd love it at 4.
All right. So there is one guy, I won't buy these guys, but I'll tell you. There's one guy that I look at as, and you see there's only 6 of his cards in this auction. And I think it's because people don't want to sell this cheap, but I think it's too cheap. I think his cards might be an opportunity. And this is opposite of me, risk averse. It's not Jaylen Brown, but I like Jaylen Brown. No, this guy, he has all the skills. He has to put it together. He has to put it together and stay healthy. You want to take a guess? You got less than an hour left. What a 2012 Prism base PSA 10 Anthony Davis is at?
$100.
Yeah, less than $200. I mean, talk about a card that has fallen so much, right? So I don't know if you want to, you get in on that one, but there are a couple of cool Anthony Davis rookies. The one that caught my eye was Select Silver Concourse BGS 95, $16. I mean, it's just an interesting card. Anthony Davis, I think if he's healthy, he's one of these guys that could really, he'd come out there and score 25, 12, and you're like, whoa, what is this? All right, the Lakers might actually be a contender here. If he plays and does what he can do, I mean, we've all seen it. He is a potential top 10 player in the league if he stays healthy. There's some fun, interesting, Anthony Davis plays.
Do you think someone with like a big personality like Russ hurts the team? Right, like I'll explain. I was watching the Bradley Beal on the Old Man in the 3, and he was saying something interesting. He's like, dude, Russ is the best teammate ever. He competes 100% intensity every day, and what people misunderstand is he'd rather he make the mistake than you make the mistake. But there gets to be a point where he's not good enough to keep making those mistakes. There's actually people that are better. And it's interesting how intensity and doing things for the right intentions could be wrong. Any thoughts on that? It was an interesting interview.
I mean, I could see where he could be a distraction. I could definitely see that. Because now all of the media is, wow, Russ is terrible. He's got to get traded. Russ is making too much money. He's got to be traded. I can see where that takes away from it. I mean, it's one of those things, and you called it last year. I mean, that team on paper should dominate. I mean, you're pairing up Russell Westbrook with Anthony Davis, with LeBron James. I mean, that's a 3-headed monster right there. It doesn't really matter what else you have on that team, right? And, I mean, now they're going to bring in Draymond Green.
Your take was so bad, man. Your Draymond take was so bad. It was Shannon Sharp, and these guys have to fight every day.
That's what you say. We'll see. You posted it. I can't wait to see what they say. Listen, Jordan Poole is a 3-point shit talker, all right? And he talks shit to everyone in the league. He has never done anything but ride the coattails of champions. And he now, if he's ready to be the guy who shoots threes and shuts his mouth, great. But everybody in the league now is going to be talking shit back to him. He's going to have to fight not just Draymond. He's got to fight everyone. That's what he did,
Well, first off, how do you know that he's a shit talker?
Oh, it's like a well-known thing. Everybody talk about it. Even if you go back, you can have Draymond's old podcast talking about how this guy was talking shit to this guy was talking shit to these guys. He's a young kid. He's a rookie. He came in talking smack. He called Draymond triple single.
That the internet makes things up, right?
Right, but Draymond, you can listen to his podcast talking about Jordan Poole talk shit.
Okay, right.
So he has no reason to make that up.
And you don't like shit talking, or you?
No, it's not. That's not it. I think it's great, but I think you have to back it up. And he talks shit to people in the league. Now what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and say, "I'm going to Draymond you."
He did back it up, and I don't think you have to if you talk.
How did he back it up?
Just real quick, it's he played very well last year.
That's not backing up shit talking.
I don't think that every shit talking needs to escalate into a fist fight.
No, it doesn't. But his did, and he got his ass beat.
Okay, sure, but how would you back it up? You shit talk and you play well. Do you also fight?
Yeah. If somebody punches you, yeah. I mean, the rest of that video should be, all right, I'm getting up now. We're going to finish the fight. And Draymond may kick his ass every single day. But he has to fight with Draymond every day until he finally kicks his ass.
You're saying you have to at least fight back.
Correct.
Got you. Okay. I got you. So I'm like,
and he's got to fight with him He's got to fight. He's got to fight every day now. He has to go after Draymond. He has to talk shit to him. Draymond's going to step to him, and he has to fight. And Draymond may kick his ass every single day until the one day Poole finally gets in a good crane technique. You know, he could.
Shaq and Kobe once got in a fight, and Kobe's like, he'd probably beat my ass, but I had to let him know I'm not backing down. So I hear you.
He said he threw some lollipops, actually, Kobe said. He said started
but you know, like how, let's say you have something on your mind, but we haven't talked in the morning, and I have something on my mind, and we're not on the same page. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe Jordan Poole isn't thinking that Draymond, his teammate, his boy, is ready to jaw him in the middle of practice.
Somebody gets in your face like that.
You're ready to go?
There's no, it doesn't make a difference. There's no other reason for somebody to get up in your grill like that. You have to be ready to, I mean, you can't. Somebody gets in your grill like that, throw first.
Dude, but think about that. So think about if he throws first. So he's like, Dre, you're a triple single. And then he hits.
Well, if Draymond gets in his face, first of all, Draymond's the one who escalated it from talking. Remember that. It was talking. Yeah, Draymond got in his face.
Draymond was talking and then got in his face.
No. Jordan Poole was talking. Draymond was talking. The person who took it from talking to physical was Draymond getting in Jordan Poole's face. Okay. Once Draymond's in your face, the push stuff, that doesn't work. Poole has to hit him. By the way, Draymond gets in your face. There's only one thing that can happen there. That's Poole's fault.
I agree. So I used to like the physical boxers that are like in your grill.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Because but what I was taught was you kind of create a little space with the shoulder. So you're saying Poole shoulders and then goes. Oh,
Poole didn't shoulder. Poole did the little like push, and we're at practice. Everybody's gonna break us up because I'm a pretty boy, and you didn't get broken up. You pushed, and that was the end for you. Don't push.
That was the end. Right there.
Punch.
I don't know. The next day, he didn't. It wasn't like he was bruised up. Like I kind of felt like it was a punch, and then Draymond tackled him.
No, it was a punch, and then he fell down against the wall, and Draymond was going after him. He didn't tackle him. He was going down. We watched that thing. He was like, you damn straight. I teach minds what I taught. Don't start none. Oh, I'm not going to read all this. Yeah, if somebody gets in your space, 100%. 100%. Someone's in your space.
Jordan just buckled you. Jordan just Draymond greened you with that message, basically.
Don't. Your airspace. This is it. Airspace. You're in your airspace. Push does not do it. Little tiny hook. Uppercut if you have to.
All right, so we're 45 minutes away from my favorite 10 to 10:30.
Dude, you love this.
It's like a game, man. It literally feels like Call of Duty. It's like a game. I wish I had play money.
Call of Duty.
It's so fun. Like, which ones am I gonna win? And then like you get into like this duel at the end over one card you really want, like, and who's gonna back out, who's gonna flinch first. It's just epic.
So listen, you famously did one of these videos that
you don't like that?
No, I feel like you're like my third grade teacher. Like, stop in the back of the class. Stop doing this. Like this, but I understand why, because you're kind of doing one of these. Like, look behind me. Look up here. See the video that's behind me over here. That's what you're doing. So, what does the Reggie White end at? Because I'm actually surprised how low it is right now.
That card's been all over social media.
Okay.
No, we don't know who owns that card. We're discussing it. At this point, it's expensive. It's like $7,200,
$8,250 plus buyer's premium. So it's basically $10,000 right now. $8,250.
You said 25.
I said 25 grand. Just because you don't see them that often.
I think the TO is actually a pretty good buy. TO was like 1/8. I mean, it's out of 150.
Yeah, it's color match. It's a nice card. Color match, interesting card. You know which one doesn't get the love that it should? And it's unfortunate because even though it's a licensed product, it's in a college uniform. Tony Gonzalez is a rookie. I don't know if you knew that Tony Gonzalez, the tight end from Kansas City, he does the games. He's an announcer. 97 was his rookie year, so he's actually in his. I think he went to Cal. He's actually in his college uniform on the card, so it looks like one of the unlicensed ones, but it's a license. It's like the Manning PMG, where he's in his Tennessee uniform.
I know you made a few big Manning buys. Does that PMG sale on the Manning give you hope?
It didn't sell yet.
But is that a good price for it? Or is it low?
We'll see where it goes. I'm expecting it to go for significantly more than what it's had. I think it's low now. I was considering, jumping in on it, to be honest. Manning.
Tennessee uniform?
Yeah, but it's PMG. Manning PMG. If you're getting Mannings, that is one of the cards, if not the card. I'll tell you, one of the things that I was looking at is if you scroll out a little bit of a wider view and you look at not just this week's auction, but next week's also, there are a few more PMG greens that got released into the wild. So I don't know if somebody is just, breaking up a set. The white is awesome, but next week we have Steve Young. A Steve Young PMG green. Really nice looking card. Obviously there are some other ones, but none that have the name power of Steve Young. Darryl Johnston is in next week's. Wayne Corbett, which is kind of cool if you're a Jet, lunatic. It's green. It's a green card with the green uniform. Mike Tomczak.
Do you think he gets overshadowed by Montana? Is that why he doesn't get the hobby love?
Definitely. He's not Montana. He followed Montana. He was awesome, but he is not Montana and never will be. So yeah, he's completely in the shadow there. A different skill set. Steve Young is more like the quarterbacks we see today. He actually could run. He actually had wheels.
Lefty, he could throw.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. Yeah, I mean it does. I don't like it. I want to call it a dump. The fact that there's a half dozen PMG greens in this week and the next. I wouldn't call it like someone's dumping them onto the market, but it was interesting to see that after Reggie White this week, there'll be a Steve Young next week. I imagine the Young will sell for more. And you're not. I mean, that's your guy, Reggie White, man.
I mean, I think it's a cool card. When do you ever see that? And Reggie White is just he's good. It's not my guy.
You're a Philly. You're a Philly fan.
Who's your guy?
Carson Wentz? What?
Is that another episode?
We got to clip that Carson stuff from this morning. That guy, oof, he did the 1 yard. He did the 1 yard. He did the 1 yard interception. Gave the game away. Yeah, I mean, listen. The only thing that I will say on this one is I like these weekly auctions because if you're in the market for interesting stuff and you are willing to put in the time, you can find some cards that you just you're not going to see too often. I mean, there are LeBron James rookie cards, LeBron James auto cards. I mean, cool stuff. You would think, LeBron autos are expensive, and they are, but there are ones here that are significantly less money than you would expect them to be. I mean, there's a cool one, a duel with him and Derrick Rose. You ever see that one? Yeah. I mean,
Derrick Rose's rookie year?
It's one of the upper deck ones that they made later on that has LeBron in his high school jersey, Let me find it. This way we're all kind of on the same page here. Weekly auction here. Okay, apply. Boom. So we'll find it. That's a cool LeBron right there. So it is the 2010 Ultimate Collection Signatures LeBron James and Derrick Rose auto from 2010. Numbered out of 23. BGS 9 with 10 autos. And it's sitting at $1,200. So LeBron auto, I mean, that's pretty cool. Another card that I had my eye on, if you're a fan of these guys, I like Shaq. 09 SP game used Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, all on a patch, all on one card. Pretty cool.
How much is that going for?
$400.
The patch card space is really interesting. I got to tell you, man, it's one I've been looking a lot at. You could get Curry has the most game worn patch cards I've ever seen.
And the last one is if you're in the market, the weekly does better on this. And if you're in the market for a Michael Jordan auto, right? And you are okay with, I don't want to call it like obscure ones, but if you're okay with not getting, one of his, his huge ones from Exquisite, Upper Deck has his autos. They're rare in these products. This is an interesting one. 2013 Upper Deck Goodwin Champions. So we all know, that comes out. They probably put like 2 of his autographs in the whole product, right? But it's still a chase, and they're still Upper Deck. He's a Jordan is an Upper Deck guy, athlete, so we can get his autograph. He's golfing. He's like, he has just hit a tee shot, and it's BGS 9 with a 10 autograph, and it's like under $2,000, like $1,700 right now. So it's a Michael Jordan autograph. If you want to go back to 03, I'm gonna spend a little more money, like 5. The Upper Deck Glass Focus autograph, BGS 9.5.
That's a cool
auto, but it's much more expensive. And just another one to look at. I don't know what people are going to be grading next, but like Funko Pop's starting to be grading, and with Hasbro, and Fanatics, Panini, whoever it is, coming out with the starting lineups. There is a really cool auction here for in 1988 Kenner starting lineup Michael Jordan that's autographed. So it's an autographed 1988 starting lineup. It's only at $1,400. It's not a card, but I don't think there's that many of these things out there. Jordan autographed, and clearly, if you want to look ahead, starting lineups might make a comeback now. They're coming back, a new version of them, and they're going to be now part of the collecting world. So, is that a question? I didn't. How do you feel about this play? Bills 90s and greats for when Josh and Bills win Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, I like it. The problem is Jim Kelly was like the 15th or 20th best quarterback at the time. Thurman Thomas was awesome. He was great in college. Believe it or not, he started over Barry Sanders his senior year. And a lot of people don't realize that. Oklahoma State, I'm pretty sure. And Thomas was a great dual threat, running, passing, back. Bruce Smith was awesome also, but none of them have really any hobby love at all. And I wouldn't assume Josh Allen's winning the Super Bowl just yet either. But he looked pretty good today. 348 passing yards in the first half. Can't really complain too much about that. Yeah, man. I mean, I love this stuff. I will look at this auction all night. I'll be like, what's going on here? There's a Jordan Poole auto out of 49 rookie. Look at that.
No, I don't like any of the Jordan Poole stuff there. No. With Jordan Poole, the stuff I bought is like very down the middle. Easy to sell. Next day auto and a blue prism.
So one thing I want you to take a look at, and you don't have to, it's numbered, but still at the time it's so weird. I know you like the weird numbered stuff, but this is one, you'd have to look at the pop, but there's been a resurgence in those great running backs of the last 20 years, people collecting them. And there's I mean, people like Gurley, people like, all these guys, right? Like different running backs. Adrian Peterson. There was a really cool Adrian Peterson rookie on here, the 2007 Topps Chrome White Refractor in PSA 10. These are numbered out of 869, so it's a numbered card. It's rare enough as it is without the PSA 10, and in obviously PSA 10, it's rare enough, and it's sitting there at $300 for a white refractor. 2007 looks like the same kind of like you've seen the Kevin Durant. Same rookie year, same refractor, same kind of card. This is Adrian Peterson. I wonder if he starts to get a little bit of love the same way some of these other running backs are starting to come into the hobby focus.
Dude, AP was a monster. He used to rush without gloves on. That's how you do your badass.
That's it. What else? I'll let you take it away. Anything else fun from the weekend that's a takeaway for you?
Gardner is just the GOAT. That's all. Sauce is sauce.
Sauce shut him down, and he had a pick.
Sauce is sauce. Yeah, there's this cool hobby champs. There's this cool Honolulu card of Evan Smith in PSA 9. Last I checked, it was $200, but the Barry Sanders one is a PSA 8 that was $230. It's like a Honolulu card. Have you seen it, Cage?
Yeah, that's where they used to do the Pro Bowl. They used to have the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. So when they did Honolulu,
and they had a card specifically for that. That's kind of cool.
They would do cards there. They would actually take pictures of them. They would invite the rookies from the rookie class there, and they take pictures and have like a rookie photo shoot there and stuff like that. Also, the card for Emmitt Smith, I think, is in this auction. Also, there are a couple of Emmitt cards to shoot for. One of them is the score supplemental, and there's a BGS 10. It's only a pop 12. That card is nice. That's a very nice card of his. it's not cheap though. That's part of the deal.
Gage.
Yeah.
Chantilly show. Are you
Yeah.
buying any athletes' cards so that they could sign it on the spot there?
I don't know, man. It depends. Depends who we gonna talk to.
Who's your guy? Like who? If you could talk to anybody, who would it be? Vince Papali.
Vince Papali would be awesome.
Mike Tyson.
I would love to talk to Vince Papali. Dude, there's a lot of guys
Buster
there. There's
Douglas.
a lot of guys. Not Buster Douglas. I don't care about Buster Douglas.
Interesting. He just
I
has
don't care about no Buster Douglas. Would you buy a PMG with no serial number now that you know that it's probably an altered that came off of like an uncut sheet that somebody cut it trying to pass it? No. Even though it's the art, it's cool. I asked because there's an Emmett Smith PMG red ending in a half an hour, and it's $500.
They need to have a distinction. Like altered versus from an uncut sheet is not the same thing.
So
there's two Kobe patch cards that say authentic on them, but I'm like, what is? You're not doing your job here. Like, is the patch swapped out and it's still authentic?
Anthony Michael Hall. That's who I would want to see. He's not even an athlete. That's what I want to see. That was weird science. I would love to talk to Anthony Michael Hall. He was the bad guy in Edward Scissorhands. Got to act opposite Johnny Depp.
Luca Nation, we're going to the Chantilly show.
That's what I want to see.
2 weeks, Virginia. It's going to be epic. If you're in the area, I know a lot of you guys already said you're coming. Hope to see you guys there. Pacific gets no love in the hobby. That's true. That is true. The Pacific's from the 90s, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Any final words? Let's wrap. 30 minutes. I got to go warm up. I need to stretch my fingers and stuff before the extended bidding starts.
Good luck, everybody. Don't try to outbid Andrew, though. You'll never win.